Cap on me, you might well pick your casket out. Cause your ass dead.
Sticks TV fam, we got Rich Delta coming straight out of Greer, South Carolina, a small city that sits in Greenville County, just north of the actual Greenville city. Okay, now Rich Delta grew up without a father who was locked up until his sophomore year. As an adolescent, his mom would move from several different projects throughout Greer, like the Kendrick Apartments, the Northgate Apartments, Muddy Lake Apartments, and even a few projects in Spartanburg in North Carolina. Rich Delta is literally what one would call a project baby. He would play a lot of sports around his early years, but being that his dad was locked up and his mom and grandma raised him, there was no father figure to push him to stay consistent in sports. Before you knew it, Rich Delta and his cousins would form their own little gang where they started hitting licks with BB guns, breaking in cars, and sticking up local dealers. By the ages of 12 and 13, Rich Delta would be exposed to the streets. He started hanging with the older guys and smoking on Za. Then one day, Rich Delta would walk in the room and see one of his uncles hitting the pipe. The treachery hit hard to young Rich Delta's heart because that was one of his favorite uncles. So Rich Delta took it as, since his uncle smoked hard, he was going to be the hustler. Before you knew it, Rich Delta was a 15 or 16-year-old that was knee-deep in the streets and wasn't turning back. He started toting glizzies and running off on every plug in the city. Rich Delta was so hot in the streets, people from Spartanburg and Anderson counties began to notice him. His big cousin Lil Rocket would go to parties and social events, and people always told him how Rich Delta was thugging in the streets. Since his big cousin already had a buzz in the streets with the rapping, he convinced Rich Delta to start rapping as a duo. One of their first visuals were I Don't F With You, and that got a whole lot of positive feedback from the city. After that, Rich Delta would take off, dropping his first solo visual on YouTube called Shade, getting nearly 10K views. So with a buzz in the city, Rich Delta would start serving swag bags, and he was finessing and jugging the whole city. Rumor has it that someone owed him some money, and he put the paws on the guy, even taking his shoes. Rich Delta's next visual called Fitted Cap got 8.5K views. Then all of a sudden, he would lose a close homie by the name of Mitch to gun violence. He would drop a few visuals getting over 10K views when he lost another homie by the name of Hitman. Rich Delta just kept taking losses, but that wouldn't stop him from chasing his dreams. He would drop this music visual called Rich Ammunition. That got almost 30K views. Then before you knew it, his homie Tino would lose his life to gun violence. By then, Rich Delta knew there was a dark cloud over his crew. That made him go harder every month since June 2021. Rich Delta would drop visuals, most getting over 10K views, but some getting over 20K views like the visuals Dirty Fiji, Watch Out, and Real Rap. Now, 1 month ago, he dropped the visual Say What that got 11K views, and 9 days ago he dropped For the Spinners. But what's so crazy, only 5 days ago, December 6th, he would lose another homie by the name of Swiper to undisclosed reasons. R.I.P. to that boy Swiper. Now, Rich Delta has some fire content sitting in the cut for 2023. Make sure y'all boys stay tuned. This your boy Sticks TV. I out.